What's up guys, it's Kira here and we're back with another video. So today is going to look a little bit different. I wanted to come on here and provide you all with another black friendly stage makeup tutorial I made a few months ago when I first started YouTube. I feel like now that I know a little bit more about makeup, I can provide you guys with something that's a little bit more like concrete and more definite. So that's what I'm going to be doing for you guys today. We're just gonna chillax, put on some music, and just chill. So we're gonna go ahead and get into it. So first we're gonna start off by doing our brows. Brows usually don't take that long for me because my eyebrows are already so thick. I can usually just get away with simply outlining them, just as I've done right there, and brushing them out. But of course, if your eyebrows are a little bit thinner, then of course you can go ahead and outline them as well as fill them in, just to make them a little bit more bolder and viewable. So next, what I like to do to clean up my brow is I just take some concealer and a very small detailed concealer brush and outline them. Next, I'll usually go in with either my finger or a brush and just start blending that into the skin. Also, something I've learned is that your brows are not twins, they are sisters. So they may look the same, but they're not going to be exactly alike. So I mean, that's clearly visible with my eyebrows. This one is a lot more thicker, especially on the inside compared to this one, but that's okay because that's what makes me me. Moving on to our eyes, we're gonna start by priming our eyelids. I'm gonna take that same concealer that I used to outline my brows and place it on my eyelid. It's always important to prime your eyelids because it gives your eyeshadow a surface to stick on and really show up, especially if you are using super bright pigmented colors at that. It's definitely important to prime your eyelids. Alright, so next you're going to go in with a palette of yours. It can really be any palette as long as it has like a dark brown / black shade and then a lighter shade you can use. That will be perfect. So I'm actually going to be taking this Morphe 35H Hotspot palette to do my eyes today. So for this look, I'd really only say you need about 3 brushes, maybe 4 at most. So one of them, start by taking this darker shade in the corner and lightly tapping my brush into it, and then start patting it on the outer corner of my eyelid and lightly bringing it over into the crease. So then what I like to do is switch to a little bit of a bigger blending brush, and I start to go along the edges, and in circular motions you want to start buffing out those edges, allowing for a more seamless blend into your skin. So next what I'm going to do, I'm going to dip into another brush and create what is called a transition shade. So I'm going to dip into a shade that's a little bit more my skin tone, which is this brown one right here. And right above that black shade, I'm just going to start buffing this into the skin That way we get even more of a seamless blend from that black shade into the brown shade and then into our skin. So then you have the choice of doing this or not. I really like to do this because it allows me to get even more of a seamless blend, but I like to take another clean brush and then just go along the edges of that last shade that we applied, making it even more seamless. And sometimes that initial black shade that we put on can get lost, so what I like to do is dip back into it and then just simply reinforce it, just touch it up a little bit. That way the color will still appear. Okay, so now we see how we have an open spot on our eyelids. That is where we're going to apply the lightest shade for our eyes. So this is when I like to go into just a shade that is complete, like literally the complete opposite of that first shade that you put on. So I'm gonna dip into more of off-white color, I will say, and then start to apply that over my eyelid. And here you can use your finger, you can use a brush, it's completely up to you. I'm probably gonna go in with my finger, that way I have more control over the area, and yeah. So you see how the transition between the darker shade and the light shade is a little bit stark. You want to blend that out. So I'm gonna go in with the first brush that I used to apply that dark shade, and without putting any more product on it, I'm just going to do strokes back and forth, very light, to create that blend. That way we have more of a seamless and beautiful transition between the two shades. Alright guys, so now that that's done, we're going to move into eyeliner. So eyeliner is really important because it is the thing that's gonna make your eyes pop. Sometimes when you put on a shadow, your eyes can get really drowned out, and that's not good because then they can't be seen. So eyeliner is just, it gives you that extra boldness and allows your eyes really to be seen. And eyeliner, I suggest having a liquid and a pencil liner that you can use on your bottom waterline. So this all depends if you like a big wing or a small wing. I'm gonna go for more of a medium wing because that's just my style, but you do what you want, boo. It's all up to you. Do your thing. So now we're gonna go into applying this pencil liner on our bottom lash line. This was completely mind-blowing to me. I figured this out just a few nights ago. I used to not put on bottom liner, but when I experimented with it last night, my eyes literally like popped out like immediately, and I was like, okay, this is what I actually looked and felt like an actual dancer. So this is what I've now added into my stage makeup routine, and you can add it into yours if you like. It's all up to you, but I like to go in now with a pencil liner on my bottom waterline. You see, and it's nothing too dramatic, but it does give your eyes that extra pop that we want, that we need on the stage. Okay, lastly, before we move on to the face, we are going to move into our lashes. So if you're performing on a really big stage with a large crowd, that's when I would suggest you put on something a little bit more bolder. With that being said, I'm gonna go into these lashes that I got for Christmas, but they're absolutely perfect for the stage. For all my beginners out there, it is really important that you cut your lashes to fit your eyelid. It's also important that you wait for your eyelashes to become dry and tacky before you put them on. That is a huge mistake I used to make myself when I first got into lashes. I didn't wait long enough for my lash glue to dry and they would always fall off of my face. So after you apply the glue, wait a few seconds, probably like 30 seconds, for your lash glue to become tacky, and then you want to apply it to your eyelid. We have finished our eyes. We are going to go ahead and move on to the face. I'm gonna zoom you guys back a little bit and we're gonna go ahead and get started. The primer that I have is Wet n Wild Face Serum Primer. You do not have to use this as long as you have a product that is a primer to put on your face to protect your face and give your makeup something to sit on top of. That way it's not sitting directly onto your skin. That is what causes acne and we do not want that. And now I'm gonna go into my foundation. I have the Fenty Beauty foundation. You do not have to use this as well. As long as you have a foundation that matches your skin tone, you will be good. And when you're applying foundation, you want to make sure that you evenly disperse it all over your face and make sure you blend it down into your neck. That way your face and your neck aren't completely different colors. I also like to sometimes take it up onto my ears just a little bit. That way everything on my face looks the same and we don't have anything sticking out and looking a little off. Oh, something I forgot to mention is that you want to make sure you wet your beauty blender before you start to use it on your face. So I was always curious myself as to why you're supposed to wet your beauty blender, and I looked it up and it says when wet, the sponge absorbs only a small amount of product. One of the reasons we always say you need to wet your beauty blender is because water causes the sponge to swell and it ensures your makeup won't be absorbed. So you don't want your makeup to be absorbed into the sponge because then it's being wasted. You're gonna have to keep adding more product because the more it gets soaked into the sponge, the less that is transferring onto your face. So you want to wet it to keep the makeup from being absorbed. That way the product is going directly onto your skin and not disappearing into the sponge. Okay, next we're going to go in with our concealer. Let's use the Stay Rimmel Matte Concealer. This has always been a go-to of mine and I absolutely love it. So we're going to apply this and we're gonna apply this at our chin, underneath our eyelids, down our nose, and on our forehead in between our eyebrows. After that, you want to take either a brush, a beauty blender, your finger, whatever you have on hand, and start to blend it in. Something that I like to do is go back in with that beauty blender without adding any more product and just going over the spots where the transition might not be super seamless. So as you can see a little bit on my forehead, you can kind of see where the concealer was applied and where the foundation is. There's a slight difference in color, so that's when I like to go back in with that sponge and just really blend the two together, allowing for those lines of demarcation to disappear. Alright you guys, so now that that's done, we're going to go ahead and set our face. I'm going to go ahead and use this Juvia's Place setting powder. This is in shade Sahara. What I like to do is dip my beauty blender in it, tap it onto my skin just to get off any extra powder, and then lightly press it into my skin. So while that is setting, I like to next go into my contour. So now we're just gonna go ahead and take a brush and apply this onto the And then to finish things up, I like to go ahead and dust off the remaining powder that is on our face. Last two steps, I like to go in with a darker setting powder just to place in all the places on my face that I did not put any setting powder. That way our face is really in place and not going anywhere. Alright guys, to finish up this look, we are now going to apply our red lipstick because we need our lips to pop as well. So I like to use two different reds just to create that ombre effect and just make it a little bit more unique to me. First, I like to outline my lips with the Color Boost, which is more of a darker, more plum shade of red. And then I like to use a much brighter shade of red on top of that. And of course, you do not have to do this. It's just something I like to do. You can always just take whatever shade of red you have and just go ahead and apply it on your lips, or whatever shade your choreographer or professor or teacher, whatever, told you to wear for that number. Go ahead and apply that onto your lips. Oh, and don't forget our setting spray. This is the Natural Finish setting spray. I usually like to go in with this one or a matte finish. I mean, those are really the only two options. But yeah, just spray this all over the face and then you are done. Alright guys, so this is our finished product. As you can see, we have a full beat face for a performance, or you can use this as a look when you're going out, whatever. It's very versatile. You can switch up the colors if you want, but this is the finished look. I just really wanted to provide you with a updated tutorial on how to do this. I know myself as a dancer and as a Black queen, it is very difficult to find things that cater to us, especially in the dance world. I always looked up videos myself on how to do my makeup for performances, and because I just never knew how. It's not something that you're really taught. It's just like, put on your makeup and let's go. But I never knew how. So I wanted to take what I've learned and develop for myself and just share it with you guys. That way you just know that you got like people on your side and just who understand and just are here to help you out. So I hope this video was very helpful to you. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.